To continue our conversation on Guantanamo, we are joined by Aziz Huq. He is director of the Brennan Center's Liberty and National Security Project at New York University. Well, you're a lawyer, Mr. Huq. Thank you for joining us. You've written extensively about human rights. So what does this decision to keep Guantanamo open mean going forward from a legal perspective? What it means legally is that human rights violations that have been condemned the world around are going to continue for a longer period than they need to. People, governments and lawyers around the world have condemned Guantanamo because of the illegal detentions there and because of the violations of international human rights laws against torture and cruel, inhuman and degrading treatment. What the Bush administration has explained or said today is that it's not going to come up with a solution. It's going to punt that down the road. So what could be the political implications for this, especially in the Muslim world? I think this just underscores the rejectionist attitude of the present administration toward international law. But what it does do is it creates a platform for a new president, whoever that might be, to really turn a new leaf and to show a commitment both to international law and to restoring America's credibility and standing in relation to its allies around the world. So if this is something that waits for a new administration, it's still not so simple as to just put up a close sign on Guantanamo. There's much that has to be dealt with, right? That's right. Unfortunately, Guantanamo is a very complicated problem where people have been held wrongfully for many years, where we don't know who is rightfully held, who is wrongfully held, and we don't have answers to hard questions about where we can hold people who, under international law, can still be held. A new president is going to have to grapple with all of those things. They're not going to be easy, and they're going to take some time to unwind. And has there been any discussion about this? Certainly the campaigns have committed to closing Guantanamo. Neither campaign, however, has come forward with specific plans about how to do that. A key role has to be played by the federal courts. The Supreme Court has twice said now that the federal courts, exercising what's called the power of habeas corpus, have the authority to decide who is rightfully and wrongfully held. Those cases ought to go ahead as expeditiously as possible, and that's a first step to deciding, how big a problem we have here. Aziz Huq, who is an expert talking about law and Guantanamo. Thank you very much. Thank you.